I keep trying to start this. I'm gonna do over here. Cowboy. Okay, what does that say? Canyon Legacy. I think I have everything pretty well figured out. But it is all about the pencil. Let's check out the pencil. Pencil time. Pencil time. Okay, that's pretty good. Wait, my glasses don't look right. Okay, we're good. All right, let's go. Good grief. Come on, let's go. Hey, how about this one? Let's do this one. One of my songs called Blue Clouds. You ever seen that? Have you ever seen, like when you look at the moon, the dark parts are the same color as the blue sky. It's fascinating. So today I want to talk about my grandpa Larsen. Dude. He keeps showing up on American Pickers, all his artwork and stuff, whatever. I used to run into that dude walking around the streets of Salt Lake City. I used to like to wander. I'd just go for a walk alone. In those days, nobody cared. And a couple times I don't know what he was doing down there. But he'd say, hey, let's go get a cup of coffee and talk. He told me, here's how you make money. Here's how you make money. It's, you make money, like, for instance, if you made toothpicks, they cost less than a cent to make. You just make 1 billion of them. He's like, here's how you do it, kid. Anyway, we had a lot of good times together. All right, and you can go. All right, the people and the things. All right. Right. All right. So this particular story from this family history that I got. I like history. I like families. I like family history. Is about Charlie Glass. He's actually quite a character. On his Wikipedia, they call him African American. Well, he was, but he was also part Cherokee, which I have a fondness for. I used to think I was a Cherokee when I was about 3 or 4. I did. I don't know why, but I used to get my other grandmother, in her kitchen drawer, get a knife, and I'd run around in the bushes and stuff because I was Cherokee. Anyway, so here's a Dude and Dot. Dude and Dot, right there. Wait, whoa, I get like that. Yeah, that's their wedding photo. What was that? 1932. Anyway, their experience with Charlie Glass, a legend, I dare say. Both well, I guess that's what happens. Is still recording? Okay. Well, let's see. I don't know if this is going to work at all. So, here we go. This is interesting. Both Dot and Dude rode. They rode. That's like horses, like horses. They rode. These are cattle people. These are cowboys. Cowboy legends. Ranching and cowboys. Yeah, okay. They both rode with Charlie Glass, Negro/Cherokee foreman of the Lazy Y Cross Ranch, owned by Oscar L. Boy Turner. These are all gangsters. These are like cowboy gangster people. Charlie would sometimes come over to the Westwater Ranch, sorry, that was my grandpa's ranch, and help them with their herd. Charlie had personally told them that his version of the shootout that had taken place back in 1921, because there was a shootout, there were lots of shootouts. Everything old is new again, okay? There's nothing new under the sun, just so you know. Glass carried a .38-40 as well as a revolver, so he was doubled up. He was packing. On February 24th of 1921, Charlie confronted a sheep herder by the name of Felix Husui, who was camped on Lazy Y Cross. This is all territory. This is all like gang tribal stuff. It's funny, but we're in 1921. Lazy Y Cross grazing land. It's like, get off my territory, bruh. The cowboy got off his horse to talk, and I think they're talking about good old Charlie, leaving his rifle in the scabbard and his revolver hanging on the saddle. According to Larsen, this is from my grandpa, because he was friends with Charlie Glass, quote, he told me the sheep herder, and these are Basque, you had Basque from Spain, sheep herders down in Moab. Anyway, he told me the sheep herder to get his he told the sheep herder to get his sheep out of there, and the herder fired a shot, probably to scare him, and Charlie just whirled around and came out with the gun, and one of them shots hit the sheep herder, and that was the end of him. So old Charlie, he shot at one of them Basque sheep herders. Charlie went back to the ranch and told his boss what happened, and Turner called the sheriff. So he reported it. You got to report, I just killed somebody. Hey, just shot a man, they washed him. The authorities came up and arrested the black foreman. He was a foreman. He was in charge of the whole deal. Charlie Glass. It was about Charlie Glass and my grandpa. And Dorothy. All right. But Turner came to Moab. We're talking Moab, Utah. Like down by St. George and southern Utah, Arizona border. A lot of stuff went on down there. Still does. And made bail for Glass. She made bail. During the trial, the judge asked Glass how the shooting happened. Charlie said, I can't tell you, but... And they weren't Southern. I can't tell you, but I show you. But I can show you. And he borrowed his gun, which was on exhibit, and demonstrated right there in the courtroom. He's like, kind of went like this. He shot me, I shot a hit, whatever. Glass was acquitted. Mainly because no judge or jury of that period thought it was worth a man's life just because he killed a sheep herder. See, the sheep herders had no rights. Anyway. Later, however, Charlie was convinced that the sheep man tried to poison him. Wow, I did not read this part. See, I'm reading as we're reading this together. He came back to his camp one day and cut up some meat that he had ready for cooking. He gave some to his cat, who died as soon as he had eaten the meat. Now, see, I don't like animals dying. I got a soft heart for everything, animals. Charlie's dog met a similar fate. They killed the dog too. I don't like that. Wait, they met a similar fate. So he threw away any provisions that might have been poisoned. Well, them gypsies, I'll just say, they know what they're doing, but they got shot at, so it's kind of like... Still later, Glass got to playing poker with some sheep herders. Apparently, I am reading this is like real stuff. Okay, apparently one of them was a cousin, and the man Charlie had killed. So he's playing poker. This is like some Clint Eastwood stuff. Larsen, okay, Gramps over here, old dude, had this to say about what followed. Quote, what we all thought was that they knocked him in the head and were taking him up to the Dewey Bridge to drop him off in the river. Well, it's not funny. They got to the turnoff driving too fast and turned the car over. That's interesting. There's a lot of car rollovers in my grandpa's life. Anyway, the sheep herders paid for the funeral expense. Well, that's very nice. To keep the investigation down. You keep the investigation down, right? Okay. You pay to play. Pay to play. Just like today. Pay to play, just like... Okay. I went to the funeral. So my grandpa dude went to the funeral because he liked old Charlie and helping the sheep herders. Charlie was as good a cowboy as came down the pike. He was highly respected in the area. All right, I gotta hurry. Dude had his own involvement with the sheep herders. Emmett Elizondo. See, I knew these were Spanish people. A Basque. The Basques were down in southern Utah in the 1920s and 30s. Hey, America is a mixing pot, as they say. The Basques, sheep herders, and they know how to sheep herd. They do, just like Jesus. They do. Westwater around 1920. So he was down there. Let's see. Okay, sorry. Dude had his own involvement with the sheep herders. Emmett Elizondo, a Basque sheepman, homesteaded 160 acres in Westwater. That's the area where my grandpa had his ranch. Around 1920, and began what would become one of the largest sheep operations in the region. Oh, the sheep mafia. Gosh dang it. He and the Larsens competed for much use of the same land, and Dude had more than one confrontation with sheepmen such as Black John, who worked for Elizondo and others. Lewis and Emmett are still good friends, however, and they are two of the last of their kind from that era. That's just one story. But wait, there's more. Okay, I gotta hurry. Okay, the Westwater Ranch was owned by the Larsen family until the Depression. This was just about the time when the Taylor Grazing Act, now it's getting political. We get into BLM here real quick. When the Taylor Grazing Act went into effect, it had been set up to protect the cattlemen and their range rights, with only a small allotment of land, often 160 acres, actually deeded to the ranchers. This was the predecessor of the Bureau of Land Management. That's the BLM. That's the OG BLM. And what's interesting is my oldest son, from what I've heard, it works for the life history is wild. Larsen recalls, here I'll end with this. We were the 4th district in the United States to go under the Taylor Grazing Act. Our first fees were 15 cents a head. So you had to pay 15 cents on the head of a cow. The money was used to run the office and keep the sheep herders out. Anyway, that's all for now. We'll do more. And we got the pencil. We got this. Hey, but did we see this? Now this is a joke. It's not a joke, but I like this picture. Because that's me in a frock on the Sea of Galilee. Not really, but Thomas, he might have been there. I don't know. Is well, I don't believe in reincarnation anymore. And hey, this one right here. Oh wait, we can't see that. Oh, this one right here. Can we see that? Yeah, this one right here. Gene Eskelson. That's one of my favorite. He's gone, but he painted that. I love that, and he wrote a poem. Anyway, go have a nice day. All right. Well, in a nice life, and an afterlife. You got to get that.
Yep. I'm thinking,